Welcome to DNA, Tanushree.
Thank you.
So, you represented India at the Miss Universe 2004 beauty pageant, and then you made your acting debut with Aashik Banaya Aap. It's opposite Imran Hashmi. So, let us begin from there. What are your first memories of being on a film set?
Actually, my first movie was not Aashik Banaya, it was actually Chocolate. Yes. Chocolate released later.
Okay.
But that was the first movie that I was shooting.
Huh.
And then I started shooting for Aashik Banaya Aap.
Okay, that's interesting.
So my first memory of being on set is for Chocolate.
It's for chocolate. Okay, then how was it like? And
It was for me. I was very spontaneous. For me, it was, I took to acting like fish in the water, and I was still getting used to the environment on the set. All the screaming, shouting, and I remember once I had very high fever, shooting for Chocolate, and I still had to continue shooting because nobody would give me an off. I had 104 temperature, and I continued shooting through that, and then the next day I felt extremely sick because they didn't switch off the AC for me, so I realized that this is a tough place to work and a little bit insensitive, the industry. Usually when you're working in a corporate, people don't realize there are so many different kind of rules, and there are so many different it's a different environment of work. Sorry, let me put this inside. So when you're working in a corporate, it's a very different environment of work. The film industry is not a regulated environment. It really depends on who you're working with. If you're working with kind, compassionate people, you'll have a wonderful experience because they'll make sure that you work your hours. They'll make sure that you get paid on time. They'll make sure that you get all your comforts and perks. If you're not working with the right kind of people, you could be chasing after them for your money or for your check for days or even years. If you're not working with the right kind of people, you could have harassment experience. You could have, not just harassment, sometimes people can just speak to you in a very indignant way on set. There is no term for it. You cannot file an FIR
it's just the vibe and the way they make you feel.
If someone's trying to force you to do an intimate scene with them, if someone's trying to grab you and push you around, you can cry as sexual harassment. But if somebody is simply screaming and shouting at you for no reason, no fault of yours, what do you cry? It doesn't matter what you cry in Bollywood. Nothing comes out of it any which ways. But I'm saying there is a very, very tough environment to work in, especially for someone who comes from a good family and a good background. Someone who comes from a cultured family, real culture, not the kind of culture where you're supposedly covered from head to toe, but you're all trash inside and you're doing all kinds of nefarious activities behind the back. Real culture where you're educated, you have the freedom to wear what you want, you have the freedom to speak however you want, live however you want, as long as you know what's best for you. You live within certain boundaries, as long as you don't go berserk and destroy your life. A very modern, educated upbringing I've had, and so for someone like me, I felt like the industry was a very, very harsh place, and that is something I've noticed right from my first day and my first film. I had to toughen up myself a lot. When I became a star, then of course nobody would scream and shout at me. But in my early days, it was like.
Did you ever feel that difference between the way you were being treated when you were starting off, and say a male actor was being treated, or for that matter, a senior female actress was treated on the set?
When you're a newcomer, it's like, I'll give you an example. When you join an office or you join a company, it doesn't matter if you're in a lower position, maybe you're getting a lower salary, but depending on the culture of the organization, there's a standard treatment for everybody. That's not the same in the film industry. In the film industry, not only do you get paid less, but you also get treated less. You get treated sometimes like as if you have no worth as a human being also. Sometimes the way people will speak to you is so indignant You're like, oh my god, did he actually speak like that to me?
Speak like that, yeah.
You know, I remember I was shooting for Chocolate, and there was a song sequence with, you know, water and everything, and I had to be wet. I developed high fever. I went and asked the director, could you please switch off the AC because I'm getting fever, I'm feeling cold, and I'm going to fall sick. He said, तुमको ठंड लग रही है तो फिर हम सब गर्मी में मरे क्या? Didn't switch off the AC. The AC continued full blast. I had to just keep shooting like that, and I was wearing like very skimpy clothes, and I got high fever. Then another time I went and complained. I said I was wearing a towel or something, and I was just standing behind the camera, and this guy wanted me to give cues to an actor.
Okay.
And it was an actor's close-up.
Okay.
It was not even my shot. Like, I was not even going to be in the shot.
Okay.
It was the actor's close-up, and he had to just look at something and give expressions. This director, he told me, जाओ जाके कपड़े उतार के नाचो, चूज दो. This is how I talk to you. When you're new, it's like, you know, doesn't matter if you're a woman or what. Like, sometimes they can be so obnoxious. So today, the main topic that we're talking about is sexual harassment. But the general attitude in the film industry is like that. That is why outsiders don't last long. Film industry kids last because they have uncles and aunties and mummies and papas. So, falane ka beta, falane ki beti, nobody dares to speak to them in that manner. Forget about harassment, forget about anything else. But when you're a complete outsider, you are practically new to Bombay, you know. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter who your father is in your hometown. वो अपने घर पे रखो. यहाँ पे तो you are nobody, you know. And because it's an unregulated environment, there is no code of conduct and behavior. In a corporate office, if someone spoke to you like that, you can immediately report to HR. Although you don't know how to categorize it. This is not exactly sexual harassment. This is not exactly what is it? Something. It's weird, you know. It's some kind of bad behavior. But you can report it to HR that, you know, this guy spoke to me like that, and there'll be action taken on it. कपड़े उतार के नाचो और क्यूज दो. The male actor had to shoot back at the director saying, I don't need her to take off her coat and dance for me to give facial expressions.
I'm assuming this is Imran.
No, Irfan Khan. I really appreciated it that he actually spoke up like that. Because the director, it was his close-up shot. Okay, I'm not in the frame. He had to look at me and give some expressions.
Okay.
Why do I have to dance in front of him for him to give expressions on his close-up shot? This director tells me, जाओ जाके कपड़े उतार के नाचो. And I was like shocked, and I was having 104 temperature, high fever.
Such audacity.
And he didn't let me go back to my van, even though I was sick to my core. I was wet, and, you know, I had just at least put one towel or something over me so that I stay warm till the time this guy's close-ups get over. And this is what he tells me, and this guy, the actor, was horrified. And because he had done some work, you know, he could say something. He just told the director, what are you talking about? I can give my close-up. मुझे acting आती है. I don't need her to, you know. And another person spoke up.
Okay.
Sunil Shetty also spoke up. He was also there. He heard it. He got offended by it, and he's like, मैं आऊँ क्या वहाँ पे क्यूज देने के लिए?
Wow. So there are good people.
Of course there are good people in the industry. Irfan Khan spoke up. Sunil Shetty spoke up. Sunil Shetty scolded that guy and said कि क्या बोल रहे हो कपड़े उतार के नाचो? मैं आऊँ क्या वहाँ पे नाचने के लिए, क्यूज देने के लिए? Then Irfan said, हाँ मुझे acting आती है, मुझे ज़रूरत नहीं है.
I know.
So that's what I'm saying. That, you know, there are good men. There are good men in the industry. There are people who treat women well. But then there are also people who, if I was doing a movie where the actors were not supportive of me, this director would have kept, he would scream at me all the time. He would say these comments, you know. What do you say? It's like, you know, it's, so that's, newcomers have to go through a lot and deal with a lot. It's even if you escape the casting couch, even if you escape the standard typical things, because the background that I came from, the Miss India and the modeling and everything, it's very unlikely that someone coming from that space will have to go through that, all that muck. Because people come to you and ask you to do a movie rather than you this thing. But I don't think anybody escapes this kind of behavior. Derogatory. And those are my learning years, and I realized that you feel like shit.
But what kept you going? What was the thing within
my
you?
My art and the fact that these two guys spoke up. If nobody had spoken up, I would have quit right after my first film.
I'm sure,
I would have walked out right there. The thing is that these two guys spoke up and I felt really good. And that guy, the director, became quiet because he realized that he can't just speak to me like that, He could have told me, come and give cues. I was not even needed to give cues. Like if it's a close-up of an actor, and obviously if I'm wearing such clothes, and if I'm having high fever and I'm almost sick, I'm not being given chutti to go back home, then... So you know what I'm saying?
It's just you feel you're made to feel as if you're secondary in the whole.
Like you're made to feel like shit sometimes. So
and it's even sad that an actor had to say, and it took an actor for the director to realize that okay, I'm doing something wrong. Wasn't it enough for when you I'm sure you must have said something to him.
No, I didn't. I was so shocked. I was like, did he speak to me like that?
You never hit back. Like you never.
I didn't have that personality. I was a very, very mellow, very, very sophisticated, very, very sweet individual.
Okay.
If somebody asked me a question like, what do you want to do for world peace? I would have a beautiful answer because that's what I believed in. I didn't know how to deal with street smart, chalu people. Today I know because I've dealt with all these people. I've navigated through this entire Bollywood and everything. Today I can go to any part of the world and deal with any kind of people and give it back to them right there. And even if I'm too shocked to give it back to them, I will text message and give it back to them.
More power to you.
I will give it back. But back in the day, I was this sweet, innocent Miss India, very polished, very well spoken, very, very polite. I used to go and sit and say good morning and good evening to people.
But do you think doing Aashik Banaya Aapne and even Chocolate were deemed A certificate adult films in the circles, so do you think doing such kind of films at the beginning of your career set that perception in people's mind ki we can just get away by saying things to her, something like that?
Does it justify anything?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, of course.
But in our country, you are right about one thing. Perception of an actor is built by the roles that they are doing. This is something that I realized over a period of time because I was so innocent that I literally thought that the whole world was like me. I thought the entire world was like me because I had no trash in my mind. I had no judgment in my heart.
No biases.
No biases of any kind. No matter what I saw. If I saw a nude person, I just saw a nude person. I saw a nude human being. I didn't associate any judgment with it of culture, religion. अच्छा है, बुरा है, छोटा है, नीचा है, ऊंचा है. I'm looking at nude. I'm looking at nude. If I'm watching a Hollywood movie, you see enough nudity in Hollywood movies.
Of course.
So I would see things as it is. So I thought the whole world was like that, but then dhire over a period of time I realized, oh my god, they're not like me. Their minds are so dirty. And that was a shock to me. Because when my Aashik Banaya movie and Chocolate movie came out, if I knew how people think and how people felt, if I knew really how dirty the minds and hearts of people are, believe me, I would have forget about covering myself up. I would not even be an actress and be in the industry. I was blissfully ignorant of this human nature, this part of human nature. Sorry. Edit all this.
Of course.
I was growing up, I've been blissfully ignorant of a lot of things about the human nature. I didn't know judgment. I didn't know this kind of mindset. I didn't know hatred. I had no clue what hatred even meant. I didn't know jealousy. I didn't know a lot of emotions. Sorry.
You want some hot water? Maybe that will help.
It's fine. So there were a lot of these emotions and filters through which people see life. I didn't have them, and I didn't know what they mean. But through life, I think God taught me all of these things.
The harder way.
The hard way, and also life. And that's why today I can relate to people much better. I feel like it has humanized me a lot more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to suffer a lot too. I understood hatred when somebody hurts you, somebody wrongs you, and you're not able to do anything about it. Like, for example, somebody just says something to you and you're not able to give it back.
Yeah.
You remember it, like, oh my God, that person insulted me, that person said this. You experience that feeling, that dark feeling, and I realized, oh, this is hatred. Because this is what I'm feeling over and over again every time I think of that incident.
Yeah.
And I don't feel good about this person, and this feeling is directed towards this person. Oh, that's hatred. Can you imagine? This growing up process has been so fascinating for me. I didn't know jealousy. Like, I was working in the industry, there were other people working as well. I don't know how it was, but it's not. I never compared myself with somebody else. What somebody else has, what they are wearing. That's why throughout my career, you'll see I'm just casual all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you see a lot of actresses very particular about everything. I've just been casual because I've been happy in that. There was never a comparison. There was never a thing to aspire to be like somebody else.
Yeah.
Just peaceful in my own skin.
But were you ever aware that now I have arrived, I've become a star? Were you ever aware of that position? That
No.
Never.
No, I mean, I became aware of what I should have been aware of in these last 8 years. But when I actually came onto the scene, I didn't even realize what a big thing had happened. I would go to the movie theaters to promote my movies, and I would see movie theaters running houseful, and people, mobs of people jumping and excited and waving, and I would just look at it like I'm looking at a movie. I did not understand it. I did not understand what it is to what it is to be a fan, like this, to be crazy about like a public figure or anything, this admiration or anything. I understood that when I started going to the ashrams and I started following spiritual teachers and preachers, because now I felt like a fan. When I met these people, I literally felt like they were the superstars and I was a fan. So I understood Acha, so this is how those people felt.
Yeah.
I used to not have thoughts, I just knew when somebody said, or somebody's behaving in such a way, instinctively I would know I don't like this person, I like this person. Sometimes I would come across people who are kind and loving and compassionate, and their energy would attract me. And then I would come across people who are obnoxious and hateful and negative. Then I would be repelled by them. But I had not yet made sense of, there was still no judgment. Ye bura insaan hai, acha insaan hai. I just knew I don't like this person and I like this person. It was a very innocent way of living
meandering
life.
through life.
Meandering through life, But the last 8 years have kind of course, through pain, through errors, through all these. Because honestly, I feel like in a lot of situations, I could have avoided even doing that film. Had I listened to my instinct and my intuition. But that's the thing, I also learned through this incident that one should never be so cerebral that you choose to ignore your intuition, because that's how God warns you against evil. Evil people will always have the garb of
White chola,
safed chola. They will build an image of themselves which has been carefully crafted. That doesn't mean that they are like that.
Yeah.
They will be seen with, you know, in front of God's idols, with media there, you know. I have gods at home too. I pray, and I've spent the last 8 years in pursuing the spiritual path. I've seen a single picture of mine next to, you know.
Yeah,
So,
of course. But exactly, I would like you to, if you're comfortable, that is, to talk more about that phase. That you left a flourishing career to adopt, to, you know, embrace spirituality, and I'm sure it must not have been that easy. You went bold, and if you're comfortable,
yes,
I would like you to,
spoken about it.
yeah,
You know,
talk about that phase.
It happened naturally and organically, spiritual path. Just the way my modeling and acting happened on its own, without me doing it, just the way this is happening on its own, without me doing anything.
Yeah.
Even the spiritual path happened on its own. Like 2008, after all this happened, I've been saying that I had fear, I had insecurity, I was confused, I was, you know, had trauma, PTSD. I was having fear of crowded places, so I was obviously staying away from movie sets. Sometimes I would feel like doing a movie, but then I would be like, no, I don't want to, because suddenly I would remember this incident. Then, you know, so all that was going on, I discussed it with a friend of mine, and she said, you know, why don't you come to our ashram and do, you know, yoga and meditation. Before that one incident had happened, which was actually a turning point. In 2009, I had a dream and a vision in which I had a vision of Jesus. In my dream, I had an out-of-body experience. It was a bombastic, supersonic, hyper-dimensional, multi-dimensional experience, which kind of blew my mind away a little bit. I had an encounter with Jesus, and he healed me, and he told me that they are human. Humans make mistakes. You should probably forgive. Because there were a lot of things I complained to him about. Not just this controversy, but, you know, as a young person, you also deal with heartbreaks and friends turning their back on you. All of that, you know. Like I said, that I was looking at life through rose-tinted glasses, and reality was now hitting me. So it was very, very hard to accept all of it together. So I complained, and then once I was done, he spoke, and his words, you know, he was a being of light emanating from him. So this was a spiritual encounter that I had, which stayed with me. And I was during that time, I've always been seeking spiritual quest. You know, I've read the Bhagavad Gita several times over. It's something that's always there with me. The more number of times I read it, the more revelations come out of it. I got into yoga and meditation. I did Diksha. I did Shiv Sadhana for a couple of years, and after a while I moved on to Buddhism. So I did Buddha Sadhana, did Vipassana, and, you know, studied the scriptures and tried to understand it. Then I got back to going to the church, which I used to go earlier a little bit, but, you know, now I wanted to understand it even better, because I remembered, you know. So I started studying the Bible. Even after I went to the US, I continued with my Bible studies. I continued with Bhagavad Gita. I continued with my Vipassana. So I'm the kind of person who will have one side Bhagavad Gita, one side Bible, and one side I'm doing Vipassana. It's like everything together, you know. So I was such a seeker that I found grace in God. I found an ability to survive, to overcome all of these issues that I was dealing with. Today I can walk into a crowded place, I can walk into a place where people are, you know, crowd without any fear. But there was a time in life where I was afraid, because every time I walked into a crowd, I would remember that mob attack. So all of these things I had to overcome, and, you know, some people use therapy, but back in the day there was no conversation about therapy. So, you know, it didn't even cross my mind or anybody else's mind. But what comfortably came to me was the spiritual path, because I have some people in my family who are highly spiritually inclined, who were encouraging me. An uncle of mine, another aunt of mine, my mom is also, you know, quite religious. So my friends also that I had a few, they had also started getting into yoga and meditation. So although I am not the religious type, I study religion to kind of understand the spirituality behind it.
Okay.
to connect more to the spirit.
Right.
That's why I don't come across as a fanatic about any particular religion, because I have kind of squeezed them and gotten the essence out of all of them, and which has enhanced my healing and my growth as an individual. So that was a process, and I'm so grateful to God for even taking me there, because during that time, during my process, Jia Khan and Patusha Banerjee killed themselves, and that came as that hurt. That was so hurtful to even see, and I was deeply touched by it, thinking that how many people, are just going to fade away without someone giving them a hand of hope. And I'm not just talking about actresses. I'm just saying young kids, girls, boys and girls, school kids, college kids. All over the world, people are dropping dead, like as if their life is worth nothing. So when I walked on the spiritual path, God made me realize that the value of my life
Much bigger.
is immeasurable. And this was proved to me over and over and over again, not only by Jesus appearing to me, which was the first time that I felt like if a God can appear to me, where I didn't even call him.
Yeah.
If he can himself appear to me, and whatever he told me, told me to forgive, healed me, told me a lot of other things that I don't even remember because the communication was a different way, then I must be someone important in some way.
That validation, that feel.
Validation, I must
somewhere I'm inside a good soul. That is why he could connect with me.
Or I'm important to God. I'm important to somebody out there who cares for what I've gone through, cares for what I'm going through, whereas the whole world seems to be in silence. So that was the first moment where I was like, then why not seek that which cares for the well-being of my spirit, rather than run behind or move around in an environment where they neither care about my mind nor my body nor my soul nor my spirit, where for them I'm just a source of entertainment, and don't get me wrong, I don't mind being a source of entertainment because I'm an actor, but beyond that I'm a human being also. So that's when I started walking the path, and I have discovered so much about myself. I hold myself in much higher esteem today than I did before. I have far more confidence in myself today. That is why today, if nobody supports me also, I will still stand strong. I will not get bogged down by who's saying what and who's with me or not. It's because there is a strength that I found in God and spirituality, that which cannot come through human beings, no matter how many millions of people are standing behind you. They can walk with you, they can walk behind you, it's fine. But my strength does not come from people. If people join me, it's great. If they don't, I'll walk alone anyways.
So during these 8 years, was there anyone from the industry that stayed in touch with you? Or during those initial years, did you make some real friends in the industry that you can maybe still pick up a phone and call or someone?
Friendships in the industry are very fickle. Friendships in the industry are very fickle and superficial. And even for me, because I always felt so different from everyone. I always struggled to fit in. In a way, I fitted in because I looked like everybody else. I was like a typical glamorous actress. I had all the makings of an actress, good dancer, good expression, charming, and all the stuff. But who I was as a human being was very different from the crowd that was there. That's why somehow, even though I've come across nice people, like I give you examples, I've come across lots of nice people, kind, compassionate human beings. But somehow the ice was never broken, and the bond of friendship that one develops also didn't happen, because I used to also be very reserved, extremely reserved. Today when you see me as an outspoken person, today I'm actually bold. Back in the day, only my clothes were bold. My roles were bold. today this is gold, you know. But as a person, I was very, very reserved. I was very peace-loving, quiet, come do your work, go away home, no hassle, no confrontation. But, you know, that's how life is. And you come across people and they make you a fighter. They will pull you into the mud. They will, you know, that's what pigs do. They will pull you into the mud and they will force you to roll in the mud. And then, you know, and then one day you find yourself a fighter. One day you find yourself a completely different human being than what you started
But
out.
tell me one thing, despite your ordeal, your sister still is very much a part of this industry. Did you never, you know, in a way warn her or maybe asked her to?
I didn't have to. She's witnessed it all from an inside perspective.
Of course.
She has witnessed times when I've come back home and, you know, during this time, I went back home and I cried and I howled. She's witnessed that. She's witnessed all the fear and insecurity that I've been through. She's witnessed the moments where if I'm going to a party even, where there'll be a lot of people, I'm grabbing her, I said, come with me, no please. You know, even at a party, I'm like, don't leave my side, because I have this fear of being around people, especially if it's a, you know, film related. So she's, you know, as a sister, as a family member, you can sense all these things. Maybe somebody else will think that, oh, you know, why is she behaving like that? But you have to understand, when someone's gone through a trauma, there are a lot of manifestations that come out of it. You know, so she's seen all of that. She's seen, you know, the highs and lows of the career. She's seen what happens when you choose the wrong people to work with. I've told her over and over again, use your brain, definitely, because that's what, you know, helps you function. But do not ever forget to use your instinct and intuition. Even if your instinct and intuition is warning you against something that your brain has approved, follow your intuition and instinct first, because that is God's way of warning you from danger. And I was warned. My intuition was telling me that let me leave this song. I have enough money, I have enough fame, I have other work offers. I feel like going on a holiday, you know. But then they chase me, and I was like, oh, national award winning actor, why don't kar sakte hain gana? That's cerebral thinking. Who knew? National award winning actor and andar se aisa, this kind of activity. So always follow your intuition. Always, I've taught her many things, and you know, I think that's why she, I hope and pray that she has a far more comfortable run in the industry than I did, and she's had. I've also suggested to her, I told her in the beginning of her career, instead of doing a film, a small film, where you don't know how they will promote it, how they will treat you on the set, you know. You may get cast in the film because, you know, you've done some ads and TV and this and that, and also you're my sister, so it will open doors. But how someone speaks to you or how someone looks at you is not something that you can control. So might as well focus on television. Television is an excellent medium to work in. You know, a lot of the mark that's there in film industry is not there in television. I'm not saying they're all saints, but it's better. And there's ads. So I suggested to focus on ads, focus on TV, and let the film people come to you and approach you for movie projects. There were a lot of strategic ideas that I gave her. I helped her get training for her craft. I helped her, you know, understand what are the right kind of people, you know, to choose to work around. So a lot of things she's learned from me, and I've taught her, I've tried to help her. And you know, if everybody gets that kind of guidance from someone, then, you know, young people, young kids coming in, then even they will make the right choices. Because film industry is a business after all.
Of course.
Once you understand the business of it and how the business works, nobody can exploit you. Because just because somebody tells you that, hey, I can get you a movie, doesn't mean that they can. You have to understand it's a business. If you are not going to bring value to that business, why will they cast you? So these are empty promises. Maybe they are saying that to exploit you. So if you understand the business of it, you will know that you have to make your value in such a way that people will approach you for your value.
For your value.
So when you are a Miss India, you have value, you know. They will benefit from launching a Miss India.
Exactly.
It's going to be a talking point. They can put hoardings, you know. If you're a TV star, you have value to it. You're already a star. Already people know you. So when your movie comes out, everyone's like, hey, that TV star, she's doing a movie, then he's doing a movie, let's go and watch his movie. if you are a popular face on ads, you do lots of ads, you're always on TV. So if you're always on TV, everybody knows you anyways. Maybe they don't know your name, but they're seeing your face. So then when the posters of the movie come out, they're like, hey, we've seen that girl in ads, you know, recall value. So theatre, excellent, another different approach. Theatre, when you do, you just hone your craft and skill in such a way that you just become fantastic. Somebody will call you for an audition, you ace it. So these are the things that young people need to know, instead of just movie karni hai, picture karni hai, heroine banenge, hero banenge, you will get exploited.
You shouldn't be disillusioned, basically.
Don't know where you're getting into, know the industry, know how the industry works. If you are of value, if you have a position already, even if it's small, if you've done a web series, you've done something and people already have seen your work, you will be more in a position to be cast and hired than somebody who's just coming from somewhere, and that's how people get exploited, right?
They're
just coming from nowhere and they don't even know how it functions. Somebody says, "मैं तेरे को heroine बना दूँगा, मैं तेरे को hero बना दूँगा." So these are the things that my sister, being my sister, had the advantage of having all this wealth of knowledge, which others I can only give through this interview or something.
I'm sure,
You know?
Thank you so much for giving your time. I hope
pleasure.